Hello, Internet. Welcome to another one of my vlogs. What happened? Well, the usual. It's that time of the year again, and we've reached 400 subscribers. Unbelievably so, but seemingly you guys seem to like my videos. So, alright, fine. We'll do more of it. Which of course means it's time for another whiskey video, as you all very well know, so I've got a tumbler here, which definitely means bourbon. Although it says dimple on it, which totally confuses me, because you don't drink dimple in one of these, but hey. So alright, bourbon time. I am not looking forward to this one, and you'll find out why quite soon. But, before we get to the whiskey, a little bit of channel news. Altus, the company who has claimed my Sherlock Holmes Let's Play, or rather one of the cutscenes in one of the videos, has not responded. The time has gone by, which means their claim has evaporated into thin air. They simply did not react at all. I don't know if Frogware actually was able to contact them, I guess, since they have a business relation. And hopefully these tough guys from the Ukraine told these Japanese businessmen that, look here, fellows, it's our copyright, not your copyright, and we never told you to claim our copyright as your copyright. And I guess Altus, I imagine, I hope, I guess, said, alright, then we won't admit that we did anything wrong, but we'll simply acknowledge by staying silent. So, the Sherlock Holmes Let's Play will continue because there's no reason for it not to continue. That's point number one, of course. Point number two, I still haven't gotten around to fixing the Civilization 3 issue. I know. I got to sit down and do that. Yeah, so much going on. As you know, I'm playing Hearthstone, I'm playing Blood Bowl 1, I'm playing Blood Bowl 2, I'm still doing Oblivion, though we're, well, finally approaching the end, I guess. I am Let's Playing Thief, number 4, as I hope you all noticed. And I dare say I will finish it quite soon, and that will be the end of that Let's Play. I did another recording. I did another audiobook of H.P. Lovecraft. I tried to give it an American ring and somewhat scared voice. So, yeah, check it out if you're into H.P. Lovecraft or audiobooks. Don't think it's a very good one, but hey, I'm just experimenting, having fun. I will do another Sherlock Holmes Let's Play. I totally promise that, and I will. But, you know, H.P. Lovecraft is kind of a fun thing to play around with. I do tend to take Sherlock Holmes a little bit more seriously, so I'm going to take my time and record it when I really have enough time to concentrate. Which will probably be in 2 or 3 weeks when I actually have a few days off, and then I'll jump at it and do another Sherlock Holmes story. By the way, what's your favourite Sherlock Holmes story? I probably haven't done it yet. Tell me. It shouldn't be the Speckled Band. It's the only Sherlock Holmes story that I have difficulty reading because it's scientifically inaccurate, because snakes just don't behave like that. But hey. Yes. Any other news? Well, still playing Hearthstone. I somehow completely lost interest in Magic the Gathering, so at the moment I'm not playing it, because I like Hearthstone a lot better. It's more fun. Yeah, I still haven't started the Let's Play that I dread. I know. I'm a little chicken sometimes, but I'm quite sure I'll do that sooner or later. No choice. Anything new coming up? Apart from that, yeah, I've got a few ideas. I will continue to do Skyrim, of course, which is lots of fun at the moment. I had a few problems with my microphone as of late. Uh, Looks like my son is changing the settings whenever I'm not looking because he found out which buttons to press. So at the moment, I'm checking the loudness before each recording to make sure that everything is kind of okay. But there were a few recordings where the microphone was too loud, which is very obvious, and there were a few where it's not loud enough, which is not so obvious because the correct setting for my microphone is at 3%. Otherwise it gets too loud, so if my son turns it down, it usually goes to 2 and you don't really notice that much of a difference. Alright, having said that, we'll get into the fun part. First of all, thank you very much. 400 subscribers. Wow, really? Yeah, don't know really what to say. You guys are a crazy bunch. Alright, now for the whiskey. I'm not looking forward to that, like I said, because this is an epitaph. It's a funeral. Yeah, it's Rebel Yell. Used to be one of the best bourbons out there. Was founded by forgot his name, but the guy was the mayor of Louisville, Kentucky in the 1940s. I know that the oldest label that they ever found and of course, being from Louisville, Kentucky, means that he was a Southerner, and he obviously thought highly of the rebel cause, which I can totally understand. I think the flag and what it stood for, let me get serious for a moment here, is being abused and misused at as of late, and I feel very sorry for that, because what it used to stand for and what most Southerners back when they were fighting for this cause and this flag was liberty, the independence of their state, the concept of how the United States of America actually should function. And I think, from everything that I've read and everything that I've seen, that their understanding of how the Constitution of the United States of America should actually be perceived was the correct one, because it is a very healthy idea, first of all, to have a local representation, meaning that the locals take care of what is going on in their district, in their county, in their state, and that those higher powers somewhere up in the capital only take care of those things that are not being taken care of on the local level, which means that the people who vote actually have an active, a thriving political community with lots of debates, discussions, lots of active participation in politics, which I think was a good idea. It also means that if, for whatever reason, some part of your confederacy, of your union, does no longer wish to participate in said union, then they can secede and leave. It also means that other parts of whatever country is around you or is surrounding you can join if they so think it would be a good idea, which means that you again have an active, a living, a changing, a vibrant body that's not in any way constrained or imprisoned by boundaries that for some reason are thought to be unchangeable, or for any reason yeah, I don't really know of the right term to put it, but the unchangedness uh, of it all is nonsense. I think the European Union is currently doing kind of the same mistake, because you can join the European Union, but theoretically you can also leave it. But whenever you try to find out how that is to be done, you find that the European Union doesn't have any workflows in place for how that is supposed to be done. Because they simply said, oh, it's never going to happen anyway. We want to grow bigger and bigger and more powerful. We don't want to think about, like, nobody would ever leave, right? And it's this concept that I don't understand. I mean, why not? If people want to go, I think Great Britain did a great job with Scotland, saying, like, okay, you are thinking of leaving the United Kingdom? Great, have a vote. Let's see what happens. And if you vote for it, you can go. That's democracy. That's great. I don't understand countries like Spain or Turkey who are sort of like, no, you are. I don't care if you're an independent, different people from us. We claim that country, that area that you've lived in for, I don't know, in case of the Kurds, or in Spain it would be the Basques, in thousands of years. We don't care. It's our country now. We put a flag in it, and there you go. And no, you can't leave. And no, you can't secede, and no, you can't have your country back. Why? Like, why? I mean, the Basques and the rest of Spain, they've been killing each other for ages. Totally useless. Why? Like, just, alright, there, you want to be your own country? Have fun. Great, that's it. If you want to come back in 100 years or so, alright, good. Try it, do it. Same with the Turks. Why don't you just go to the Kurds and say, like, alright. Here's border, your country, my country, let's have good relations, handshake, stop the violence, there, everybody's happy. Why does anybody want to keep somebody else's place? It's like, I don't get that. I mean, Norway and Sweden have done it, right? It's wonderful. Worked fine. The Norwegians just said, we don't want to be part of Sweden anymore. We're distinct people. We're Norwegians. In 1912. And the Swedish thought about going to war for a second, killing them all, and said, like, no, that's been done quite a lot of times, and it's violent, and killing is not a nice thing. Alright, here you go. Have your own country. And they've been best friends and great neighbours since then. It worked great, fine, everything's fine. But coming back to the United States of America, President Lincoln did not think that way. He thought a union preserved by force and coercion would be a good idea, though I dare say it's not a union anymore. It's somewhat like a forced marriage. Anyway, the only good thing that came out of it, of course, as you all know, is the slaves were freed, which of course is a terrible, inhumane concept, but you really can't blame the Southerners, since it's a biblical concept, so I don't know. I agree with Eddie Izzard on that one. God, when he wrote the Bible, he should have gone like, maybe slavery, no. Edit that out. Left it in. Until today, it's still in there. You can read it. It's insane. How to Sell Your Daughter. It's in the Bible. Anyway, getting back to the whiskey. So, this guy, Farnsley, Charlie Farnsley, he was the mayor of Louisville in Kentucky, and he created his own whiskey. Actually, two brands. One of them was called Rebel Yell. Like I said, the oldest label that they could find was 1948. And he had another one that was called The Lost Cause. Nice. Yeah, but that one was... I don't know. I've never ever seen any bottling of it. I don't think it ever was. But Rebel Yell actually was. It was handed over to Stitzel Weller, the Stitzel Weller distillery, And they initially made it, and it was one of the best wheat bourbons ever. I can tell you, really. United Distillers. Well, originally it was only available in the South. You couldn't get it anywhere else. But United Distillers, the owner of Stitzel Weller, then decided, I don't know, 60s, I guess, 70s. 60s, I think. They decided, in any case, we'll go worldwide with this stuff. And so they did, which means somewhere in the late 80s, I got in touch with Rebel Yell, the famous round bottle. It was back then, I think. And it was just one of the best bourbons ever. Wheaty, caramel, honey, even more wheat. It was at it started out as a 5-year-old 90%, and United Distillers, Stitzel-Weller, then lowered it down to 80, and it was smooth, it was mellow, it was like just one. It was the South. It really was. You could feel this. You were just drinking it, and you were sitting on a porch somewhere in Louisiana. It was just, or Alabama. It was just amazing stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So I always had a bottle of Rebel Yell in my whiskey thingy-bob, in my whiskey case. Drank it for years. Wonderful. So, I had my last bottle lasted for like 10 years, I think, because yeah, it was like I reserved it for special occasions, and I usually only drank it alone. I didn't give it to guests. It was just mine, my precious. So yeah. So it took me quite a while to get it empty. And it was always, Rebel Yell was always hard to find here in Central Europe, where I'm currently residing. So, yeah, it was empty, and I thought, oh man, I've got to get a new bottle. I'll try to import it or buy it on one of those special websites, or let's see. And I told my lovely wife about it. And my lovely wife cannot rest if she knows that I have a wish, which is very nice. So she got out on the internet and bought it for me. So I got this bottle for my birthday. And I went, oh, Rebel, look at here, they changed the design of the bottle, but everything else seems to be okay. It's still 40%, which is 80 proof, the Deep South Rebel Yell. There's the Rebel Rider, which was always the symbol of the guy, though the first label had a cannon, the very first one. And then I did the following. Took a glass, put the stuff into the glass, and cheerio. That was the first sign there was something wrong. I took a swiff, like, this thing is a lot less oily than it used to be. It's more like water, and yeah, flows faster. Doesn't smell the same either, even if you take a nosing glass. It doesn't give you that nose of caramel and vanilla and butter and sweetness and wheat. This smelled and smells somewhat shallow and one-dimensional. So I took a sip like this. There's a lot of burn. And that's basically it. It tastes boring. There's not much wheat. There's basically no complexity. There's a little bit of sweetness. You can still taste that tingling of wheat in there, of course. But so I couldn't believe it. I was just sitting there going like, this can't be. This is my favorite whiskey. There's something wrong with me. I must be sick. So I tried it again. Not going to do that. Terrible. So I went to the all-knowing internet and did some research on what used to be one of my favorite brands, and found out that somewhere in the 1990s, like in 1992, United Distillers closed Stitzel-Weller. Why? I still don't understand. One of the best distilleries ever, but I don't know. They closed them. And something that they do a lot in the States, unfortunately, they sold the name to a company called Luxco, which is a cheap alcohol beverage group which does all kinds of like colored vodka, raspberry flavored, whatever. They do everything. The new Rebel Yell, by the way, is a lot cheaper than the old one. And they moved this into the Burnham Distillery, which is, it's kind of a... Yeah, it's where all the cheap bourbons are basically done. And then moved it to Heaven Hill, which is even worse. So Heaven Hill has been producing this Rebel Yell for Luxco since 1999. So my last bottle must have been older than 10 years, actually. Well, and basically, they should be ashamed of themselves. All of them. Luxco, Heaven Hill, Stitzel-Weller, United Distillers, I don't care. You've just ruined. You've dishonored. You've disgraced this name. I mean, I don't care where you're from. I'm Central Europe, Great Britain, Yankee. You could, wherever you are. This is not about the rebel cause. This is about the rebel whiskey. And this thing used to rock. And now it really sucks. So don't buy it. Just don't buy it. Don't buy this. This is terrible. I don't know what they were thinking, but this is just... If you need an extremely cheap whiskey to mix with, I don't know, Coke, for your guests, of course, not for yourself, because you are, of course, a man or a woman of taste, so you would drink good whiskey with maybe a little bit of water, but nothing like this, of course. But I know that sometimes you get guests and they go like, all right, I'd like to drink a whiskey and Coke, and you go like, oh, okay. I still have half a bottle of Jack Daniels for people like that. So yes, this one goes with the Jack Daniels bottle, and whenever I get people who go like, I'd like whiskey, but no, don't put some ice in it and some... Sure, here you go. Enjoy it. So yeah, it was a very, very sad day when I read that on the internet. So this is not Rebel Yell anymore. It just says so on the bottle. It's just like Jack Daniels Old Number 7 is not Old Number 7 anymore. It just says on the bottle. I think that's called lying, but I might be mistaken. It could also be called marketing. Yeah. Alright, that was a long rant, but basically 400 subscribers, yay. I'll have some good whiskey now. I'll see you again when we reach 500 subscribers, I dare say, and in the meantime, I bid you very well a good day, and yeah, see you on YouTube, everyone.